right, hey, what's up everybody? Landon with LMR.com. The car we have on the dyno today is Logan Lindley's 1986 Mustang GT. Logan Lindley is Mike Lindley's youngest son. Y'all probably remember Mike's 2012 Competition Orange Boss dyno that we did, and then we've also dynoed Hunter's cars before as well. I believe it was a 2003 Mustang GT, and then either a 2020 or a 2021 Mustang GT as well. Can't always remember the years because we dyno so many cars, but if you're interested in those dynos, I'll leave a link to them down in the description. But for Logan, like I said, he's Mike's youngest son, and he's definitely an old soul, as what they say. Being of how young he is, you know, he's interested in, you know, kind of old school rock and roll. He's got a 1986 Mustang GT. He just likes the old school, if you will. And for the case of his car, he daily drove it up until just about a few weeks ago when he decided he really wanted to focus on the car, start working on it, tinkering with it, piddling with it. And if you're gonna do that to a Fox body Mustang, it cannot be a daily driver. I mean, it could be, it's just, boy, you're gonna be fighting tooth and nail on trying to get stuff accomplished for your car. His 86 GT, for the most part, I know y'all hate me saying this, but it's all stock with the exception of a few things. And the way the car is supposedly, or it's believed to be, is how they word it. The car has 67,783 miles. Now, for those of us that know Fox bodies, you can always typically add a 1 in front of that, and that's probably what the accurate mileage is. But according to Logan and according to some recent inspections, the car should have this amount of miles, meaning that the miles are fairly accurate. Other than the miles, it has a stock bottom end, but the heads have been switched out to an E7 head, and just by rough calculation, I did not run this through any type of calculator. I'm just kind of pulling these approximate numbers out of my head. But as far as a compression ratio with an 86 short block, you're probably considering 9.3, 9.5 to 1 for the compression ratio. It does have an 87 upper intake, and then the smog pump has been bypassed, meaning that there is no smog pump delete pulley. And then the car is still utilizing a clutch fan. Working our way towards the rear, it has stock manifolds, an off-road H-pipe, 40 series Flowmaster mufflers. We're rocking an AOD transmission. So the AODs, third gear would be 1-to-1, but because you can't hold 1-to-1 in the old school transmissions, we're gonna have to do the AOD shuffle. First, second, back to first. That's gonna hold second gear. So our pull is gonna be made in second gear. The car does have an aluminum drive shaft, a 327 rear gear, and then Logan recently purchased a set of the 5.0 Resto 10-hole wheels, which look really dang good on the car. This is the 17-inch version, and the tire is a 275/40/17. Logan has 93 octane fuel in the tank, and currently the way it sits, he's kind of chasing a drivability issue right now. So the timing is about 10, 11 degrees base, and I think it's ramping all the way up to about 33 degrees total timing. So that may affect the numbers or the overall horsepower and torque output. May be just a little bit low than what we're probably gonna be used to seeing. Remember, y'all have heard me talk about this in other dyno videos. You know, a chassis dyno is simply a tuning tool. We just use it kind of for the data aspect to kind of forward and pass along to all of you. So, I think I've rambled enough. We're gonna make a quick trip around Logan's car, make sure straps are tight, all that good stuff, and then we'll make a hit. All right, everybody, let's jump over here. We'll look at some results for Logan's car. We did 2 runs. The first run, I think we had an issue with the pickup or something, but it made like 264 horsepower, like 368 pound-feet of torque. That's not right. But we did get a good, clean run with Logan's car. It's making 183.9 horsepower at 4,300 RPM, and then 242.8 pound-feet of torque at 3,700 RPM. If you're looking at the graph here, there is a slight blip that could just be a small issue with the pickup. Typically, sometimes we see that, and that's kind of what was happening on that first run. But here it's pretty minuscule as the car was already making peak power by then, as well as peak torque. It's strong. I mean, if you consider it, yeah, you're probably thinking, oh, that should be somewhere, you know, around 210 or 220. And I would probably agree with you, you know, if it was a 5-speed car. We've dynoed plenty of 5-speed Fox body Mustangs that have similar modifications as this, and they're making around this power. And just for reference, we've dynoed the white convertible, which is a 1987 GT, and it made 184.7 horsepower at 4,300 RPM, And then torque, I don't believe this, but that's just what we went with because that's what we have for the graph. Made 265.9 pound-feet of torque at 3,100 RPM, but if you see that spike in the graph, that's causing the 265.9 pound-feet of torque. If you were to level that off more, you would be closer to 200 and probably 251 pound-feet, which, you know, puts it in the ballpark of Logan's car. And like I was telling you, Logan was chasing a little bit of drivability issue with it, and that could be another reason why, you know, you may think that these numbers are just a quote-unquote touch low. And I think Logan told me, he took it to the track not too long ago, and I believe it ran like a mid-14, 14, maybe 14.6, 14.7. You know, in today's time, and when we compare to what we know now, you know, that's slow. But if you go back to the late 80s, early 90s, you know, that particular time necessarily wasn't all that bad. I mean, that's what, you know, most cars are running, if not, you know, dipping into 13s. And then, like anything, the more you do to them, nitrous, the whole 9 yards, you know, you only go faster. So I hope y'all enjoyed this one. It's good to see the younger generation tinkering with the Fox body Mustangs. We're gonna sign off, as always. If you find value in what we do, consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and turn on notifications. And then until we catch you in the next one, for all things Fox body, keep it right here with the real enthusiasts, LMR.com.